अच्छा अच्छा,
वही करती है।
हाँ
वो अगर किसी कारण से नहीं आए तो फिर किसी और लोगों से करवाया जाएगा,
हाँ।
लेकिन
तो मैंने
वही करती है।
अच्छा, खड़े होकर के जो है वो
सब
राष्ट्रगान
लोग खड़े हो जाएंगे
हाँ
और ये पंत साहब ठीक कर रहे हैं, सब लोग अपना माइक म्यूट कर लेंगे
हाँ
और बोलेंगे, माइक म्यूट करके बोलेंगे।
जी
नहीं तो इतना वाइब्रेशन होने लगता है, आवाज गूंजने लगती है
हाँ, नहीं सही बात
कि
है।
बहुत ऑकवर्ड सिचुएशन डेवलप हो जाता है।
जी सर।
और आप शुरू में ये बताइएगा सर
जी
कि
अजय
वैसे तो हम लोग का ये 31st एपिसोड है,
हाँ,
लेकिन बनारस
लिंक
हिंदू
ओपन के
यूनिवर्सिटी
खुला था
के लिए ये तीसरा एपिसोड है।
अच्छा अच्छा,
2 एपिसोड पहले हो चुका है।
हाँ
उसमें पहला जो एपिसोड था बनारस से रिलेटेड,
हाँ
तो प्रोफेसर
हाँ
HL छिबर साहब के बारे में हुआ था।
अच्छा अच्छा,
और दूसरा एपिसोड हुआ था
जैसे लिंक क्लिक कर क्लब बना दो, अपने आप खुल
प्रोफेसर
जाओगे,
RL
फिर
सिंह
ज्वाइन कर
के
दो तो हो
ऊपर।
जाएगी।
अच्छा अच्छा,
और ये तीसरा एपिसोड है
बोली तो अपने आप एगो अपने आप विंडो आ जाए।
जी जी,
और उसके बाद जौहरी साहब के बारे में होगा चौथा एपिसोड,
वही में ज्वाइन।
जी जी ठीक है।
तो ये नाग साहब
अच्छा एक मिनट,
जौहरी साहब के बारे में
दूसरा
नाग
नंबर से
साहब
नहीं ना
बोलेंगे।
चला होता आप व्हाट्सएप वही
अब
नंबर
आज
आप
चूंकि
पे
ट्रेवल में है,
हाँ
हावड़ा शायद कलकत्ता जा रहे हैं,
अच्छा अच्छा,
तो उन्होंने कहा कि आज के लिए छोड़ दीजिए
ना ही वो
और मैं आपको डेट
बताऊंगा
बताऊंगा।
तो बाद लिंक एगो फिर से भेजले बने ओके, फिर से करी।
अब इसी तरह से एक आदमी के बारे में हम लोग करना है,
फिर से एगो लिंक भेजले बनी हम,
और जितने लोगों का लेक्चर हो रहा है
खाली सबसे नीचे वाला जो
मोस्टली हम लोग के पास ये हार्ड कॉपी सॉफ्ट कॉपी में उनका लेक्चर आ गया है, चैप्टर वाइज, चैप्टर के रूप में। तो उसको हम लोग कंपाइल कर रहे हैं। अभी 4 वॉल्यूम में उसको हम लोग पब्लिश करेंगे बहुत जल्दी, 1-2 महीना में पब्लिश करेंगे, मार्च अप्रैल तक पब्लिश करेंगे।
अच्छा अच्छा, चलिए बहुत अच्छा।
और उसके बाद और भी लगातार चलता रहेगा। और ये जो रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट है
जी,
ये लगातार इस काम को करते रहेगा और हमारे आपके जनरेशन तक के लोगों के बारे में लेक्चर होता रहेगा।
नहीं बिल्कुल,
इसलिए आप लोग को बहुत कोऑपरेशन चाहिए।
नहीं बिल्कुल, हम लोग कॉर्पोरेट करेंगे जितना हो सकेगा।
शुरू में आप बता दीजिएगा कि वैसे तो हम लोग का 31st एपिसोड है, लेकिन BHU डिपार्टमेंट के लिए तीसरा एपिसोड है।
हाँ ठीक है।
और फिर चौथा एपिसोड होगा जब नाग साहब समय देंगे। और फिर उसके बाद और लोगों के बारे में भी होगा।
ठीक है ठीक,
जितने लोग हैं सबके बारे में भी होगा। जी, तो ये इंट्रोडक्शन में आप शुरू में बता दीजिएगा।
ठीक ठीक।
हम सोचे कि टेलीफोन करके आपको बता दें, लेकिन मौका नहीं मिला, इतनी सर्दी है पटना में।
सर्दी तो हर जगह है।
जी जी जी,
खुला था सर
जी।
चलिए, तो तिवारी जी जुड़ेंगे ना? हाँ
जुड़ रहे हैं। और अभी उनसे बात हुई है, प्रयास कर रहे हैं
जी,
जुड़ेंगे।
ठीक है। बारिश भी आपके यहाँ हो रही है? यहाँ तो थोड़ी सी बदली हुई है, कल रात में तो थोड़ी सी बारिश भी हुई थी।
धूप एकदम नहीं निकला है।
धूप तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं है
जी, और 10-12 दिन से एकदम धूप नहीं निकली थी। कल निकली थी, परसों थोड़ी निकली थी। आवाज तो वही लुका छिपी चल रहा है, बादल है।
मौसम भी इसी तरह से है।
जी जी जी,
आप जो भी खेल रहे हैं।
जी जी,
ठीक बा। रिकॉर्डिंग रही करवा के तब भेजो, देखो यूट्यूब से।
यादव जी जुड़ गए हैं। नमस्कार डॉक्टर साहब।
नमस्कार सभी को। विभागाध्यक्ष को नमस्कार।
सभी गुरुजनों को मेरा नमस्कार।
प्रणाम सर, प्रणाम। प्रोफेसर गोस्वामी और प्रोफेसर सान्याल जुड़ गए हैं कि नहीं?
गोस्वामी जी तो अभी दिखाई पड़े हैं अभी
सर, दोनों लोग।
मैडम भी।
हाँ नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार
सभी वरिष्ठ विद्वत जनों को नमस्कार।
नमस्कार। प्रोफेसर सान्याल भी हैं?
हाँ जी सर।
मैडम दिखाई पड़ी।
अच्छा लगा।
तिवारी जी भी जुड़ नहीं पाए हैं लग रहा है।
वीडियो कंज्यूम कर जाएगा डेटा।
गुड आफ्टरनून मैम नांगिया। गुड आफ्टरनून
प्रोफेसर नागिया, गुड आफ्टरनून।
गुड आफ्टरनून।
गुड आफ्टरनून।
हम कैसे?
प्रोफेसर शर्मा नमस्कार।
हाँ नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार।
प्रणाम सर, प्रणाम।
शुक्ला सर को नमस्कार।
नमस्कार पंत साहब, नमस्कार।
सर नमस्कार, नमस्कार।
देवेंद्र बाबू को नमस्कार। सर देवेंद्र बाबू नमस्कार।
जी 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 नमस्कार।
नमस्कार सर।
प्रणाम सर, राणा बाबू प्रणाम।
सर प्रणाम सर, राणा सर प्रणाम सर।
राणा सर को प्रणाम।
चौधरी साहब नमस्कार। बहुत ठंडा है क्या?
नमस्कार है सर।
बहुत ठंडा है सर, पटना में, बिहार में बहुत ठंडा है।
ठंडा है सर, बहुत ठंडा है।
संजय झा साहब नमस्कार।
नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार।
नमस्कार सर, नमस्कार। शुक्ला सर नमस्कार।
सर कोहरे की।
तिवारी साहब प्रयास कर रहे हैं।
जी जी
ट्राई कर रहे हैं जुड़ने का।
अच्छा अच्छा।
अरे आप ऐसे करें कि सब लोग जुड़ने की कोशिश करते हैं भाई।
आपके आशीर्वाद, आप जैसे लोगों के आशीर्वाद, मैडम क्या, नागिया के आशीर्वाद से सब ठीक चल रहा है।
नहीं जी, ये सब आपका करिश्मा है देवेंद्र जी।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल मैडम, आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा, इन्हीं का करिश्मा है। सही बात।
करिश्मा इन्हीं का, करिश्मा पूरा करिश्मा है मैडम। मैडम प्रणाम, मैडम प्रणाम।
प्रणाम सर।
आप जैसे सीनियर लोग ब्लेसिंग नहीं करेंगे तो कैसे?
प्रणाम सर, प्रणाम।
प्रोफेसर चट्टोपाध्याय जी नमस्कार।
नमस्कार, गुड आफ्टरनून।
नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
नमस्कार सर।
चट्टोपाध्याय साहब नमस्कार।
नमस्कार
सर प्रणाम सर। चट्टोपाध्याय साहब नमस्कार।
नमस्ते मैडम, नमस्ते सर।
सर हेलो, दिलीप कुमार चट्टोपाध्याय सर।
या हेलो,
ये
गुड आफ्टरनून। गुड आफ्टरनून प्रोफेसर झा।
Good afternoon. I have met you in 1997 at Trivandrum.
It's a long time.
I have remembered your face, sir.
प्रोफेसर शर्मा मैंने ज्वाइन कर लिया भाई।
थैंक यू सर।
जी सर, आप
भोलेनाथ के दर्शन होना बाकी है अभी। ऑनलाइन मत आइए।
आइए सर, कभी भी आइए।
ऑनलाइन नहीं करेंगे।
कुमरा ही सर। नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार।
नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार सर।
नमस्कार।
सभी को प्रणाम सर।
खुश रहो।
नमस्कार। नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
तिवारी साहब आ गए हैं। आज के हमारे प्रेसिडेंट साहब आ गए हैं।
जी जी
जी जी।
तो क्या
नमस्कार एंड गुड इवनिंग टू एवरीवन।
कार्यक्रम शुरू करवाया जाए ना चट्टोपाध्याय साहब? शुड वी स्टार्ट द प्रोग्राम?
जुड़ गए हैं।
Yes, our president, our chief guest, our convener.
I think let us start and then people will join. Let us start.
So, may I request?
ज्योग्राफी बहुत बढ़िया और सीरीज चल रहा है तो
वीएन शर्मा साहब will start the first thing.
Good afternoon to one and all. First, I request to all to mute your mics, sir, so that it can be heard. On the occasion of the 31st episode of the online lecture series on founders and makers of modern geography in India, organized by the Institute for Environmental Research and Rural Development, Patna. But the third episode in Banaras Hindu University, devoted to the great geographer, Professor Shantilal Kayastha. I heartily welcome you all, the scholars connected online, on behalf of the Department of Geography, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. We have online Professor P.S. Tiwari, former Professor of Geography, Madras University, Chennai, as President of this episode. Professor Santosh Shukla, former Professor and Head, Department of General Geography, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur University, Sagar, as Chief Guest. Professor Mausmi Datta, Professor of Geography and Principal, Nagin Das, Khandwala College, Mumbai, as Guest of Honor. Professor V.K. Kumra, sir, former Professor and Head, Department of Geography, BHU, and Professor R.S. Yadava, former Professor and Head, Department of Geography, BHU, as speakers. We have also Professor K.P. Goswami, Professor of Geography, BHU, for the welcome address. Professor Shravani Sanyal, Professor of Geography, BHU, for a vote of thanks, and Professor D.P. Singh as intercessor. The organizing secretaries of this episode are Dr. Ambarish Kumar Rai, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Geography, VKS University, Yara, and Dr. Amit Kumar, Assistant Professor, RD College, Sheikhpura, Munger University, Bihar. Without taking much time, I seek permission from the President of today's event, Professor P.S. Tiwari ji, to start this program. Sir, Professor Tiwari, sir. May I start? Is he connected, sir?
Please start.
Okay, sir. Thank you. With the permission of the President, I welcome one and all in this episode, which is in memory of Professor Shantilal Kayastha. Professor Shantilal Kayastha Professor Shantilal Kayastha left us on January 7, 2018 at the age of about 94 years. After getting his secondary education in Lahore, he went to Aligarh Muslim University for post-graduation degree and Banaras Hindu University for PhD degree. He was the first PhD of Geography Department and also was head of the same department for 2 terms. His research interests were studies of the river basin, resource planning, water resources, environmental issues, ecological crisis, etc. Professor Kayastha held important positions like chairman of the Geography Panel of Experts, UGC, full member IGU Commission on Environmental Problems, secretary of the National Committee for Geography, chairman of the advisory board of NATU, etc. He visited many countries, namely Romania, Mexico, USA, Brazil, Spain, France, England, USSR, Pakistan, Nepal, and Japan for delivering lectures and attending seminars, conferences. He was associated with the National Geographical Journal of India as its honorary editor for a long time. The National Geographical Society of India conferred on him its prestigious award, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Medal, in 1971. He was quite soft-spoken and highly disciplined, not only in the department, but also at home as well. The Department of Geography, Banaras Hindu University, always feels proud to have a memory of such alumni. Let us pay tribute to him today through this episode of lecture series. First of all, I request my colleague, Professor Kausalendra Prakash Goswami to welcome the dignitaries and listeners connected online. Sir Kausalendra Prakash Goswami, please.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar to all. It is my great privilege to be the part of this event. And as Professor V.N. Sharma, sir, the convener of this event, told me to welcome the August gathering and the learned people present in the online lecture series in memory of Professor Shantilal KAYASTHA, sir, who had been the former head of this Department of Geography and many more affiliations he holds. First of all, I welcome you all in the 31st episode of the online lecture series on Founders and Makers of Modern Geography in India, conducted by Institute for Environmental Research and Rural Development, Patna, Bihar. In continuation of welcoming you all, I first welcome the president of this event, Professor P.S. Tiwari, sir, former professor of geography, Banaras University, Chennai, and former president, Nagi, and also awarded by Bhagol Vachaspati Award. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
I welcome today's chief guest of today's event, Professor Santosh Shukla, sir, former professor and head, Department of Geography, Dean, School of Applied Sciences, Director, Institute of Distance Education, Dr. Hari Singh Gaur University, Sagar, and former Director, PRC Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. I also welcome the convener, Professor V.N. Sharma, sir, the present head of this Department of Geography, Institute of Science, Banaras University. I welcome guest of honor of today's event, Professor Mausami Dattaji, Professor of Geography and Principal Nagin Das Khandwala College, Autonomous Institution, Mumbai, and also the member of Board of Studies, University of Mumbai. I feel pleasure to welcome my senior colleagues, Professor V.K. Kumra, sir, and who has been the professor and head, Department of Geography, former Dean, Institute of Science, and also acting Vice Chancellor of this Banaras University, Varanasi. I also welcome Professor R.S. Yadava, sir, former professor and head, Department of Geography, Institute of Science, BHU, Varanasi. I welcome my colleague, Professor Sravani Sanyalji, from this Department of Geography, Institute of Science, Banaras University, Varanasi. I feel pleasure to welcome Professor Devendra Prasad Singh, sir, who is the Director, IERARD, Patna, and former head and Vice President of Nagi. I welcome the members of organizing committee as the position of an organizing secretaries, Dr. Amrish Kumar Raiji, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Geography, Veer Kumar Singh University, Ara, and coordinator of this program. I also welcome Dr. Amit Kumarji, Assistant Professor, RD College, Sheikhpura, Munger University, Bihar, and coordinator of this technical cell. In spite of these people who are on leaflet, I namaskar and charan spas to my guru, Professor Rana Pratap sir, the president of Nagi and head Department of Geography, Dean, Department of Geography, Magadha University, Bodh Gaya, and all learned peoples, Professor Nagia madam, and others who are present on online mode. I welcome you all, sir. Namaskar. Now it is over to Professor V.N. Sharma, sir, convener of this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Goswami ji. Now I request Professor Devendra Prasad Singh to brief the online scholars and listeners about the lecture series on founders and makers of modern geography in India. Professor Singh, please.
Thank you, sir, very much. And good afternoon to all the scholars present on the screen of this online mode lecture series. Sir, this is our 31st episode, and we have already conducted 30 episodes in the past. And lectures on about more than 60 professors, senior professors of Geography of India has been delivered by many senior professors of the country. And all the lectures has been made available to us in format of chapter of books. And we are going to publish 4 volumes very soon. We hope we shall be able to publish our first 4 volumes of this series till March, April of this year. And even then, we will continue our activities, and we hope that we will cover lectures on each and every professor of geography of the country. And the episodes, the online series, this series will may continue for a long time. And we have an agreement with this institute, IERARD Patna, that they will make us opportunity available for conducting such lecture series, and they will also publish all of lectures series. So your cooperation, your support, and your blessings are of paramount importance. And today I am very much hopeful that the Banaras Hindu University Geography Department will support our mission, as we have to conduct such lecture series for Banaras Hindu University Geography Department for a long time, because Banaras Hindu University is one of the oldest department of geography in the country, and it has given many scholars of geography to the country. So, sir, your support, your blessings, your helping hands will be very much important for us. Thank you, sir, very much for your support and cooperation.
Thank you, Professor Singh, for briefing the activities of the Institute for Environmental Research and Rural Development. Our colleague, former head of the Department of Geography, Banaras Hindu University, Professor R.S. Yadav, is present with us online. Professor Yadav had been a dear disciple of Professor Shantilal Kayastha. Now I request Professor Yadav ji to benefit all of us from the contributions of the Professor Shantilal Kayastha. Professor Yadav ji, please.
Mic muted.
अनम्यूट करिए सर माइक.
ओके. आप सभी को हमारी तरफ से अभिनंदन, नमस्कार, गुड इवनिंग, आदाब. खासकर इस इवनिंग में इस लेक्चर देने के लिए हम अपने कुछ कलीग्स और सीनियर लोगों को शुक्रिया तहे दिल से अदा करना चाहते हैं. Without that, it would have not been possible. Particularly, I am so much thankful to Professor B.K. Kumra, Dr. Prithvish Nag, Professor Sarfraz Alam, who have been helping in providing material about Professor Santilal Kayastha. At the same time, I would like to express thanks to one of my students, and at a very short spell of time, he has made slides to function. Colleagues, I would like to share that all of you are representing geography intelligentsia of the country. Salute to one and all. To the chairman, to the distinguished guest, to the convener, to the speaker, and all others. It is my privilege to talk about and share my experiences and also about the academic profile of Professor S.L. Kayastha. To be very frank, I would like to go to slide, please. Photo, I think most of you may be able to see. Such full name is Santilal Kayastha. His birth was there on 30th March 1924. The place of birth in Kangra district of Himachal Pradesh. His death took place 6th January 2018. I would like to share that Professor Kayastha belonged to one of the prestigious family of the Kangra who were having their position in the township. By virtue of that, he got his high school education from Dayanand Anglo-Vedic High School, Kangra. He did his graduation from Government College, Lahore in 1938. Sir has the opportunity to do his PG from Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh, from 1942 to 44. He joined as lecturer, Department of Geography, Banaras Hindu University. Before joining Banaras Hindu University, he served Fateh Chand College of Oman, Lahore, for a few months only. After that, he joined Government College, Ropar in Punjab in 1944. After that, Sir joined the Department of Geography in capacity of Assistant Professor in 1948. Professor Kayastha got registered for his PhD. In the same department, his topic was Himalayan Bias Basin, a study in habitat, economy, and society. Under supervision of Professor R.L. Singh. He did his PhD in 7 years from 1955 to 62. He was first to obtain PhD degree in Department of Geography from Banaras University. On the recommendation of Professor S.M. Ali, S.L. Kayastha got later for his PhD under supervision of famous British geographer, Professor L.D. Stem, for enrollment over there. But in order to accomplish the responsibility of his family, he preferred to continue his PhD and he did not visit there in London. Professor Kayastha since joined Department of Geography at the very beginning of the department, he has had the focus on development and shaping of Geography department. From the time when department started, then and there itself decision was taken to start a society, National Geographical Society of India, which is having a regular quarterly journal published from 1954. 1955. Professor KAYASTHA became editor of National Geographical Journal of India since inception of that journal. Before publishing that journal, department and society were publishing one bulletin in beginning step. At the helm of the honorary editor, Professor KAYASTHA made a continuous note and news item in the last of the every issue in the journal, which were having of geographical importance. NGGI received appreciation from Professor Chauncey D. Harris in 1980 for covering, within quote, original articles on all aspects of geography of India, especially settlement, urban, economic, and physical geography. Also, book reviews. Quota. Joseph E. Schwarzberg described NGGI, National Geographical Journal of India, as, within quote, one of the most substantial and regular periodicals in India, covering geographical studies, particularly of India, but also other parts of Asia. It was published in NGGI 1989. He played leading role in day-to-day functioning and activities of the department and the society in various capacities for the society as Joint Secretary, Secretary, President, and member of Executive Council. After Professor H.L. Chibber, he, together with Professor R.L. Singh, organized most of the events under the aegis of the society. He took initiative and introduced paper on environmental studies, resource geography, population geography, Indian ocean realms at postgraduate and undergraduate level courses in the department. He retired in 1984 after completing 36 years of distinguished service in Department of Geography and 41 years from 1944 to 1984 in service of geography, teaching, and research. He joined Indian Council of Social Science Research, ICSSR, as senior fellow from 1986 to 88. He was closely associated with Dayal Bagh Educational Society, Agra, deemed to be university, for the rest part of his life. As a researcher, I would like to say and share some slides to the August gathering. I suppose all of you can be able to see and read the slides. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
As a researcher, his PhD thesis of Professor KAYASTHA, the first PhD thesis from any department of VHU, got published as a book, a joint scheme of sponsorship by University Grant Commissions and Banaras University. I would like to share that those who have visited University Library will find that Professor KAYASTHA's voluminous thesis in two volumes, huge volumes were there, containing huge material on Himalayan Bias Basin, supplemented with variety maps and photographs unthought of. In 1960 and early 70s, Professor KAYASTHA followed conventional trends of research by focusing his study on habitat, economy, and society, particularly Himalayan Bias Basin, using both regional as well as systematic approaches. During 1970s, he shifted from conventional to the human-oriented approach to work on problem-oriented themes which had direct bearing on human life, such as planning, environmental pollution and conservation, resource management, population growth, hazards, and disasters. His studies on national forest, water, and environmental policies have been considered as one of the most impactful contributions. The continuous evolution and sporadic revolutions in the discipline of geography at national and international stage also helped him shaping his research priorities. So far as regional geography is concerned, Professor KAYASTHA adopted French tradition of regional geography to study in exhaustive details about Himachal, Himalaya in general, and Himalayan Bias Basin in particular. Every aspect of regional geography, be it physical, economic, and demographic, socio-cultural, were studied in his research. When I will be focusing the slides, you will be coming across his publications where they are concerning this topic. Professor KAYASTHA has proved that Himachal, Himalaya has an enormous treasure of natural resources. Once upon a time, it was considered a resource deficit or potential area, but now all of us realize that it is emerging as one of the very prosperous state of our country. He was closely associated with major contributions of geography, and all of you, one of the premier of prestigious publication, we can say mouthpiece of Department of Geography. A publication, of course it was edited version. Professor R.L. Singh was able to mobilize with the help of Professor KAYASTHA, the scholar academia of our country, to write a monumental work in form of India, a regional geography. Professor KAYASTHA was associated with that along with Professor Kasinath Singh and Dr. Kailasnath Singh. Once upon a time, there was a trend for integrated area development. Before that trend started there in our country, he is widely credited with being the first to undertake the study of a river basin as a spatially viable unit for integrated resource development and planning. He mobilized resources of department and got funding from the University Grant Commission to prepare an integrated area development project of South Mirzapur. Two of his research scholars, namely Professor B.N. Singh and Professor S.P. Mishra, were awarded PhD degree on topic integrated area development during the same period. Regarding population geography, Professor KAYASTHA played an active role in IGU Commission on Population Geography. He participated in the meeting of IGU Commission in Karachi, Kathmandu, Sydney, and New Delhi. He delivered a lecture on planning for population change in IGU Commission meeting in Macquarie University, Sydney, which was later published in Professor Munish Raja Commemoration Volume. He participated in New Delhi Symposium and presented a paper on population growth in India and a schematic on environment and development, later got published in Demographic Transition. He was co-editor of the prestigious publication Population and Disaster, published by Basil Blackwell, Oxford. Its review appeared in prestigious journal Nature. He published a book on geography of population, selected essays in 1998. Professor KAYASTHA participated in Commission on Population Cartography of International Cartographic Association meeting on population mapping technology held as part of IUSSP Congress. Environmental studies. Later on, it entered to his core of the heart, and always he was talking anything, he will echo on environmental study. He initiated environmental studies in geography in India on a systematic basis. He wrote a textbook on environmental studies in co-authorship of Professor B.K. Kumra sir is present, providing apt reading material to postgraduate students. It was found that study material was not there. To fulfill the gap, they took that initiative. His student, Professor B.K. Kumra, has been awarded PhD degree on topic Kanpur City, a study in environmental pollution. That was a pioneer in the field of urban pollution mapping, perception, health, and pollution zoning. He formulated ecological mapping of several universities on pilot basis, and he was chairman of UGC Commission, the UGC Geography Panel of Experts. He was a full member of IGU Commission on Environmental Problems. He raised the issue of sustainability long back of metropolitan centers in the third world countries during International Union of Scientific Study of Population Congress in Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi. He contributed a chapter on environmental policies in India in edited volume of Professor Chris C. Park, titled Environmental Policies World Overview, published by Crome Helms, London. Professor KAYASTHA left a lasting impression during 24th IGU Congress. He took part in United Nations University IGU panel discussions and was honored as guest speaker at the centenary celebration of House University, Tokyo. He gave presidential address to the Indian Council of Geographers in Mysore in 1982 on topic Perspectives on Environment and Development, in which he advocated to research on environmental studies. Given the responsibility of Indian National Science Academy to prepare a report on environmental geography, later it was published as a national report from 1988 to 1992. In 1994, Professor KAYASTHA was interested to prepare a status report of environment and development by UGC. A research paper, Forest and Ecology in Himalaya, which he presented in IU Symposium on Mountain Geosystem Dynamics, held in Delhi in 1991. He wrote a book entitled Environment and Development, Issues and Imperatives, which was published in 1999 by Dayal Bagh Educational Institute, Agra. Professor KAYASTHA was able to establish a new trend of research in field of environmental geography and emphasize on issues linked with environment and development. In environment, a section named Hazard and Disaster Studies. He wrote a few influential papers linking flood and human society with his research student, Dr. R.P. Yadav. The study on flood-induced migration in Ghaghra zone in 1991 was path-breaking in the sense that he was one of the earliest geographers to work on this linkage. In another paper in 1977, they argue how the social costs of floods are unequally borne by different social groups of this area. He delivered Professor N.K. Bose Memorial Lecture on Population, Disaster and Disaster Reduction Strategies during the Indian Science Congress in Indore in 1991. In his later on, it was published in Geographical Review of India. He delivered an invited talk in the Indian Science Congress in Delhi on geography and sustainable development, environmental scenario and perspective. He delivered as an UNEP consultant to the International Conference on Environmental Life Elements and Health in Beijing in 1990. And his paper was published in the proceedings published by Chinese Academy of Sciences in 1994. IUE UNDP International Seminar in New Delhi, he presented a paper on disasters in India. He focused on characteristics, mitigation, and management of disasters. He has liking for reading and travel. Professor KAYASTHA meticulously read newspapers, magazines, and journals and update his teaching and research material. If one enters into visitor room, automatically he will come across National Magazine, Geography Magazine, which was premier publication all the time it used to be. Regular subscriber he was. He was widely traveled geographer, both in India and abroad. He described his fascination for travels as below, within quote. I always fascinated by the people and the places. I could travel to many parts of India and observe the regional diversity and cultural harmony of this great country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Gujarat to Assam. Quote over. It was quite surprising that, in spite of such a long teaching and research career in college and university, which started in 1944, he could start academic visits outside India in the last decade of his academic career. Between 1977 to 1989, he was invited and lectured in several countries such as Romania, Nigeria, Mexico, USA, UK, Japan, Brazil, Spain, Nepal, Pakistan, USSR, France, Australia, and China. So far as honors and awards and achievements are concerned, Professor KAYASTHA served in capacity of head of department for 2 terms during 1977 to 1979 and 1983 to 1984. He was chairman of advisory committee of NOTMO, National Atlas and Thematic Mapping Organization, Kolkata. He was chairman of Geography Panel of Expert, UGC, and full member of IU, Commission on Environmental Problems. He was a corresponding member of Working Group on Environmental Perception, as well as Commission on Population and Environment of IGU. He was member secretary of UGC, National Committee for Geography. One citation is there: by virtue of his distinguished services, society has conferred onto it. It was on the basis of general house, entire house, sitting and deciding. Since it is there, you can read, or if you suggest, I can read. I'm reading them. Dr. KAYASTHA is well known for his contributions to Indian geography in general and regional geography in particular. In addition to numerous articles, his pioneering works on the Himalayan Vyas Basin, a study in habitat, economy, and society, has won wide acclaim. Dr. KAYASTHA is a senior geographer of the country. He has not only confined himself to his own research and publications, but has significantly contributed to the publication and dissemination of geographical research work as editor of National Geographical Journal of India. In recognition of the merit of his work, National Geographical Society of India takes it great pleasure and pride in awarding him, on the occasion of its silver jubilee of the society, the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Medal. On the occasion of silver jubilee, this honor has been conferred onto him, and he was elected president of Indian Council of Geographers in Bhubaneswar, 1981-82. He was conferred Bhugol Vachaspat at Indian Geography Congress at University of Allahabad in 2008. He was unanimously elected president of Geology and Geography section of Indian Science Congress Platinum Jubilee session in 1988. He was the president of National Association of Geographers India, NAGI, during 1993-94. Professor KAYASTHA was a member of Indian Science Congress and co-editor of souvenir volume published on behalf of Indian Science Congress that was held in BHU in 1981. Professor KAYASTHA was also the UGC National Lecturer and an honor bestowed on only a handful Indian geographers. One of the very important quality I am going to discuss about Professor KAYASTHA as a human being. He had cultivated a deep sense of value for time and space in his own day-to-day life. Professor KAYASTHA has a sense of sanctity of space and would never visit department in casual dress. He consistently risked his popularity by questioning the dominant paradigms rather than falling into the line to get most quick mileage possible out of what was most bagu at the moment. Professor KAYASTHA was a very private man in his personal life. He was readily accessible to the students and researchers from the department as well as other universities. Save it was subject to appointment. He was very strict. When he has given time, at that moment of time, sir will be readily available and immediately he will be entertained. No one has ever seen Professor KAYASTHA losing his temper, even in the most adverse situation. He had likings for neat and clean writings. When he will write, each and every letter in the world will be distinctly and beautifully crafted. He had dislike for all kinds of orthodoxy. Society was burdened by many orthodox opinions. He never subscribed that view. Rather, he cultivated liberal ethos and modern outlook in his day-to-day life. He always emphasized on need to cultivate the value of scientific temper, spirit of inquiry, and rationalism. He is known as an acclaimed scholar, a keen researcher, a dedicated teacher, and talented, handsome personality. Many of us may be quite aware that Professor KAYASTHA happened to be as a student at graduation level. He was roommate of cine actor Devanand. Likewise, Devanand, he was having beautiful, handsome personality. In everyday routine, he was a textbook example of a disciplined life. He would get up in the early morning and would go out for a walk in serene, beautiful campus of Banaras University Institute of Science. One of his close friends, Professor Munish Raja, the well-known Marxist and legendary geographer, was very close to him. Professor KAYASTHA dedicated his last major essay titled India and the World, Some Impressions of Travel. It was published in National Geographical Journal of India, 2008, in memory of Professor Munish Raja. Personal interaction, as Dr. R.S. Yadav, I have with Professor KAYASTHA would like to share. Sir were very instrumental in deciding my PhD topic. By his own handwriting on a piece of paper, he wrote topic for me, resource appraisal, economic development and planning of South Mirzapur region, Uttar Pradesh. I tried my level best to articulate the theme as per his expectations. At a particular time, I was under stress and finding I have already collected volumes of data and already published. This process data were tabulated, finding difficult how to sum up. He calmed me and I advised to wrap up the final research findings within the time frame, indicating research is an endless process. It is not that this is going to stop. You have to continue. Whatever you have done, started, it will continue. Under that situation, you should not be worried at a particular moment of time. You have to say, this is final. He was generous to attend me in the department as well as at his home. Of course, at a appointed time, as and when he will call. That helped me to take the first step to enter the academically elite society of geography. Whenever I was sitting beyond time at his home, Madam was generous and would provide snacks, fruits or tea with warm gestures. Professor KAYASTHA was an ideal teacher for me. He strived hard to follow his footsteps and make myself a better human being. I have tried, still find that I am not coming to his expectation. When I joined as professor in Arunachal University, my colleagues and friends were busy greeting me on the achievement, but I was evaluating myself for the post of professorship. As I had image of Professor KAYASTHA, I gladly shared that this shoe of professor doesn't fit into my feet. It means I have to put hard work to prove myself as professor and come to the level of my teacher. Once upon a time, I asked Professor KAYASTHA how to evaluate students. Sir readily shared the systematic and scientific process to do that. A reflection of practical classroom. A professor matters when he enters to the class. In that way, I tried to put a few points. Professor KAYASTHA would enter in his class well in winter or summer attire, carrying his file consisting teaching materials of respective class. There won't be confusion. For every paper, he will be having his separate study material. He will go with that file. He would give a concise but balanced introduction of the theme, describe significance, discuss methodology, more so, particularly for practical classes, present national and international scenarios, focus on relevant issues and its future implications. He preferred to write, not going and speaking, like giving lecture. He will introduce topic, write on the blackboard, and twin sliding blackboards were there. He will write clearly and boldly topic and will introduce. This used to have impact on the mind of the even weakest student admitted to the class. He will control the situation among the students and interact with the nation and society. He was so much concerned that sometimes he finds that when one goes to the railway coach, toilet particularly, and after coming out, they will not clean. He will tell in such a scientific way that his students will never do that. When we are going to use the toilet, before coming out, it is important that it should be ready for others to use. Such type of small things used to matter much for him. He would come prepared with relevant data for practical class and write information on blackboard. Seek opinion from the students about probable class intervals. Discuss pros and cons and suggest ideal class interval indicating rational and implied justifications. His students were asked to prepare concerned thematic maps in his supervision. When he was taking class, it was particular day. First day, he will teach the exercise and also then and there, he will make students to complete the exercise. Next day, he will give interpretation and also make final what is the deficiency in the map and will check the interpretation part of the practical exercise. He would suggest students to collect data followed by particular data, particularly one's own district, to encourage them visit library and directed to prepare relevant maps and write interpretation to create own geographies. These practical exercises made students understand the proper logic and reasoning of such beautifully crafted postgraduate practicals. I consider Professor KAYASTHA as one of the legends. His legacy is there due to his untiring efforts that environmental geography was mainstreamed in syllabus of geography department in most of the Indian universities. Introduced paper on resource planning, applied geography, and population geography under UGC SAP DRS scheme. With effort of Professor KAYASTHA, 5 new posts for specialized teaching were granted 2 professors, 1 meant for integrated area development, 1 reader, remote sensing, 2 lecturers with specialization in climatology and geomorphology. At one point of time, there were 6 professors of geography who were his students. Professor B.K. Kumra, Professor M.B. Singh, me, R.S. Yadav, Professor Ramvilas, Professor B.N. Singh, Professor S.P. Mishra, who had completed their research under his supervision. Professor Kayastha was married to late Kusum Kayastha, and he was blessed with 2 sons. Professor Anand Mohan, elder son, he was former professor of geology at BHU. Currently, he is registrar at Dayal Bagh Educational Institute, Agra. Younger son, Professor Arvind Kayastha, is a professor at School of Biotechnology, BHU. He is well-known researcher in the field of biotechnology and has been elected Fellow of National Academy of Sciences and Fellow of National Academy of Agriculture Sciences. He is also a recipient of C.N. Rao Educational Foundation Award in 2012. I would like to share that list of the students and topics who has been awarded PhD degree under his supervision. First, Yasan Mishra, award degree was in 65, land utilization in lower middle Gomti Valley. Professor P.S. Tiwari, sir, is chairing the session. In 1966, urban patterns in Madhya Pradesh. Om Prakash, 1973, population geography of Uttar Pradesh. Santwana Ghosh, 1973, population geography of Bihar. D.S. Yadav, 73, Southeast Himalaya, a study in rural settlement geography. Yasan Mishra, Sonpar region, a study in human adaptation. Jagdish Singh, 1974, Baghelkhand region. Baghelkhand, a study in population and settlement geography. Jyotsna Prasad, planning regions of Uttar Pradesh. B.K. Kumra, sir is sitting and also as a speaker. He will be supplementing what will be left or unable to be expressed by me. Kanpur city, a geographical study in environmental pollution. Professor M.B. Singh, industrial development in eastern Uttar Pradesh, a geographical study in pattern and potentials. R.P. Yadav, human adjustment to the floods in eastern UP and related areas development planning strategies. R.B. Singh, 1981, geographical dimensions of integrated rural development, a study in Siwan district. Ramvilas, 81, rural water supply in Varanasi district, a geographical appraisal of water resources. B.N. Singh, in 1981, a geographical study in integrated rural area development and planning in Gazipur Tahsil. R.S. Yadav, me, already read. Yasan Singh, Varanasi, a city in tourism and recreational geography of Kawal towns. S.P. Mishra, 81, integrated rural development planning, a geographical study of 4 blocks of Karakat Tahsil, district Jaunpur. Alok Kumar, Dr. Alok Kumar, geographical analysis of production, settlement, of population and settlement in Mirzapur district, Uttar Pradesh. S.C. Rai, 86, tourism in Kumayu region, a geographical study. Chandrasekhar Kumar, in 1989, geographical study of environmental problems and development of South Mirzapur region. Sir has published a few books, major I am reading. In 1964, Professor Kayastha, the Himalayan Vyas Basin, A Study in Habitat, Economy and Society, published by BHU Press. Still copy is there available on the net also it is there. 1986 with John I. Clark, Curzon P. and P. Nog, Population and Disaster, Basil Blackwell, Oxford and Massachusetts. In 86 with Kumra, Environmental Studies, Fundamentals, Problems and Management, published by Tara Book Agency, Banaras. 1998, Geography of Population, Selected Essays, Rawat Publication, Jaipur. In 99, Environment and Development, Issues and Imperative, published by Dayal Bagh Educational Society. Selected papers published by him, I am not going to read, will be just flash, you can have a view. In the beginning, you may find that the publications are mainly confined to the Himachal Pradesh or Himalayan Vyas Basin region or some of the related issues. Besides that, Sir has presented many lectures in the country, different universities and different countries and our many universities of India. All those things are there. Please scroll down. Lectures delivered are there from 1956 onward. Many are there. He was not sitting in the chair only. He was very active, vibrant, and visiting when invitations used to come. He used to deliver lectures to the expectations of the students and also tried in his capacity to mobilize students. Book reviews. Since he was editor, many books used to come, and Sir used to write in his own book reviews and regularly publishing. You will be finding long list of book reviews published in journal, and there were 4-5 felicitation volumes, and one was there written by, edited by Professor H.S. Singh, Harihar Singh, Nag, B.K. Singh, that's right. In appreciation letter, many about written by many of his colleagues, how he has contributed to the field. All these things are written. Yeah. Thank you very much. He was such a personality, it is difficult to sum up his contributions. He has made 2 generation students who have been directly or indirectly involved in the process of teaching and research in different universities. These were really major contributions. That's why I understand that he has made contributions towards the development of geography. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Yadav ji, for narrating the family and academic background of Professor KAYASTHA, his contribution to National Geographical Society of India, contribution to the geography itself, contribution to the society and nation through his research papers, and lastly, his nature as a human being and a teacher. Thank you once again, sir. Now, another disciple of Professor KAYASTHA, Professor V.K. Kumra ji, is also present among us. Professor Kumra has been the former head of the Department of Geography, Banaras Hindu University, and has adorned various posts like Dean of Students, Registrar, etc. of the university. He had also been dear to Professor KAYASTHA ji. I request Kumra ji to share his experiences with Professor KAYASTHA, sir. Please, sir. Professor KAYASTHA, sir.
Unmute, please.
geographers of the country who are present over here, and particularly my very respected senior geographer, Professor P.S. Tiwari. Professor P.S. Tiwari was also an inspiration to younger students of Professor KAYASTHA for working very hard in the field of geography. I also congratulate and thanks to the organizers for organizing a very useful session on founders and makers of geography, and the contribution of Professor KAYASTHA is to be distributed all over the country and all over the world. Professor KAYASTHA, I think Professor R.S. Yadav has given a very detailed profile. He narrated the family background, his academic career, his achievements, his contributions, his hard work, and as a talented researcher, he presented all his personality. But I was very close to Professor KAYASTHA. I can't speak too much, but I must tell you that Professor KAYASTHA was a very dedicated, sincere, hardworking teacher and a great personality, well known in the Banaras University campus as a very sophisticated, soft-spoken and gentle person. Several students used to visit Professor KAYASTHA for his help in different spheres of their life. And he always helped the students. He acted as chief warden of the Faculty of Science, and in other capacities, he also helped the administration of Banaras University many times to make students familiar with the university campus and to make them disciplined. I first saw Professor KAYASTHA as a student of BSc in the Department of Geography, and I was so impressed to see a great personality, very beautiful teacher, well dressed, and used to come at right time in the department because I had a class at 8 a.m. in the morning in the Department of Geography. So I used to come at 8 or before 8. So Professor KAYASTHA has also a class in the morning. He also come at exact time at 8 o'clock in the department. As far as his teaching is concerned, I have also been his student, and I also shared classes with Professor KAYASTHA for many years in resource planning practicals, resource planning theory, and other papers of MMSC final. He actually trained me as a student in his classes, as a teacher. And the best thing I learned from Professor KAYASTHA, to come at the right time, exact time to the class. If it is 8:45, so I must reach before 8:45 to the class. If I have an examination duty at 1 o'clock, I used to reach before 1 o'clock at the examination center. So, and Professor KAYASTHA was very particular. If he has given time at 8 a.m. to meet him at his residence, if you don't go at 8 a.m., he used to say, all right, you come another day, and but come before taking time. Take time and then come to me. Whenever he used to visit abroad, I used to go to the railway station or the airport to see of him. And whenever he come back from his useful journey from some country or some city, he used to tell me about his experiences over there, not only his contribution, others' contribution, but whatever he shared over there, and what others shared in that particular conference or meeting regarding the development of geography. He was, as Professor R.S. Yadav has already described, that he initiated various courses in geography, like resource planning, population geography, Indian Ocean realm, and environmental studies as a compulsory paper in the MMSC Geography syllabi in the Department of Geography. And that was the first department who initiated to start a new course in environmental studies. And in 1975, when we passed MSc history, 4 students, they joined with Professor KAYASTHA for research work. And since he has given all different topics, not the traditional one like settlement, rural settlement and all these things, he distributed new topics and on new dimensions, new approaches. And for example, he gave me a topic on Kanpur City's history and environmental pollution, R.S. Yadav, flood hazard, M.B. Singh, industrial development and potentials. And then next batch, R.S. Yadav, next batch, R.P. Ramvilas, he was given rural supply, Varanasi, rural integrated rural area development program, and then S.P. Mishra also the area development program for research work. And before he used to see your synopsis, he used to see every part of that particular synopsis very seriously. And he used to write his own writing about the chapters of the thesis, which one has to conduct in the next 3-4 years. His contribution is really remarkable. It will again take huge time if I will tell you about the contribution of Professor KAYASTHA. But he was well known for his very beautiful personality, for his talented career, for his writings. You know, he contributed a lot in publication of National Geographical Journal of India since its inception as an honorary editor, and never taken any benefit from the National Geographical Society of India. Although other office bearers, they have taken benefits from that particular organization, but he never took a single benefit from that particular organization. And India Regional Geography, in publication of India Regional Geography, he equally worked hard with Professor R.L. Singh and Professor K.N. Singh and Professor Kailasthnath Singh. Actually, that was the basic work of 4 or 5 persons. But our other geographers, they have also contributed. I think Professor P.S. Tiwari must have written something in that particular volume. Professor Ukar Singh, Professor Dina Singh, all they have contributed. But, you know, Professor KAYASTHA was instrumental in getting the topics, the chapters of the India Regional ready with, and consulting Professor P.S. Tiwari ji, D.N. Singh ji, Omkar Singh ji, K.K. Dubey ji, and other geographers of that particular period to get ready all these topics. He worked hard day and night to get the India Regional publication ready for publication, which is the outcome of the whole geography department at a particular time for not only India but also abroad. It is very famous book, no doubt. You know, Professor KAYASTHA has, as far as personal interaction is concerned, I was almost meeting him every day whenever he used to come in the department as a faculty member, or before that as a student. I was a little bit careless when I was studying, doing research on Kanpur city. So he used to ask me to remain in the field for many, many days. And whenever I used to come back, he required all those proofs that I have visited these organizations or not. He was so sincere. And his 2 friends were there at Professor L.K.S. Chaudhary and Dr. R.K. Nigam at Kanpur. He used to inquire from the telephone that Kumra has met you or not, and have you given this particular material to Professor Kumra or visited with him Kumra? So he was so concerned about his researchers not only for their academic life, but also for their family affairs also. And really, he, whenever he has to visit abroad, he used to ask his 3-4 students to bring abstract and make papers ready. So I was the first to, because I was working on environmental pollution. So he always asked me that you write abstract. If I don't give on right time, he becomes sometimes angry with me. And his angriness is was very simple. That he will say that, all right, you come again. Then I used to understand that Professor KAYASTHA is not happy with me because I have delayed abstract today. So, and as far as paper is concerned, he used to see 2-3 times all the research papers before its publication, before its submission and publication. So, and every time he made comments to get it, corrected again and again. And every work should be in perfect form. Must be readily, ready for publication. Another important thing about Professor KAYASTHA was that he was very serious, very concerned with the class teaching. As Professor Yadav told you, that he used to prepare his lectures and keep all the materials in a particular file and bring it to the classroom and deliver point-wise each and every particular aspect of the topic in a very detailed way. And not only that, he was so conscious that if he came to know today in some newspaper about some aspect of planning, regional planning or local planning or any aspect of geography, he used to tell in the class. यदि उन्होंने पेपर में पढ़ा है या न्यूज में सुना है तो आगे तुरंत क्लास में बताते थे. So that was his seriousness and concern about the class. And I never saw Professor KAYASTHA to be delayed in the Department of Geography. And whenever I have a class with Professor KAYASTHA, I used to stand before his room before 5-10 minutes earlier, so that he will come out from his room. He must find me that I am also available to take the class. And in the beginning, he remained with me in the class. First, he delivered his lecture and tell the students every aspect of the practical classes or every aspect of the topic concerned. And then after that, after 2-3 lectures, he gave me the full responsibility. So giving responsibility to his student for class was also a very difficult task for a teacher. That he has full faith in his student that he will deliver. He will tell the students every aspect of the topic concerned. So that was very remarkable with Professor KAYASTHA. I think Professor P.S. Tiwari must be remembering when Professor KAYASTHA was at Madras for his operation of the surgery of the ear in 1975. We stayed in a hotel, and Professor P.S. Tiwari was also at Madras at particular time. And I think he joined there. Before 2-3 days, I think Professor KAYASTHA came for surgery at Chennai. And Professor P.S. Tiwari used to visit every day to the hotel to meet Professor KAYASTHA and inquire about his health. So on many occasions, I used to accompany Professor KAYASTHA in India, and I learned a lot of things from Professor KAYASTHA in my personal life. And whatever I achieved, what you are on today, is only because of Professor KAYASTHA. And you're surprised to know that before his death, before his death, he was a little bit serious. I used to inquire every day about his health from his younger son. From Banaras, because I was at Mumbai on holidays. I came back on 5th January. And first I visited, from airport I came to my house and then went to Prof. KAYASTHA's house on 5th January. His son brought him out. He recognized my footsteps and said, Kumra, when you came back, without saying me that pranam sir, yeah, namaskar sir, he recognized me that I came, maybe smell or something, maybe some his sixth sense. And when I came back in the night, his son telephoned me that your Guruji is not, Guruji no go. You come and arrange for his cremation. Sons were so connected with me that they said, you come and make arrangement for his final funeral. So I think Prof. KAYASTHA was waiting for me to leave this world. She was so associated with me. So I'm sorry, I became so emotional. And I must tell you one more thing, that when I became a faculty member and Prof. KAYASTHA retired, he used to walk PHU campus, and at exact time, 8 a.m., he used to come later when some traffic is there or something like that in later days. At 8 a.m., I used to meet him at the same place every day. Every day. So his time and my time was the same, and the place was the same. I used to come on a scooter, and he used to come on walk. एक ही जगह पर हम मिलते थे. और उसके बाद after that, when he became older, his son Arvind, younger son, who is a professor at biotechnology, and he used to bring Prof. KAYASTHA on his car, and with him he moved across the road of Faculty Institute of Science. So I was very practical in coming to the department at 8 a.m., sharp 8 a.m. So at 8 a.m., he used to pass in front of my room. My chamber was downstairs. So when Professor KAYASTHA used to reach that particular place, I also reached at the same place. And every day, I got opportunity to touch his feet. Every day. Before, his death. So that was a very, rare connection with a teacher and a student. When he expired after his death, his son asked me that, can I renovate my house, a part of my house? I said, why are you asking me? You ask your elder brother. He said, no. My papa asked that if you have to take any decision, you consult first Professor Kumra. If he'll say yes, then all right. So then I said, all right, you do it because it's your house. No. He said, Kumra is instrumental in all those things. So he will tell you that it should be repaired or not. And that was the relation with Professor KAYASTHA and his family. His family, he was very fortunate to have a very nice family. not only family, his personal family, but his relatives' family. I know many of them. They are very nice, very helpful, very sophisticated, and having love for others also. Kayastha has love for everybody. All of his students. And very, very used to live. He was so careful that nothing should be harmful. Not a plant, not a animal, not even an insect should not be harmful, should not be made harmful. He was so careful about his surrounding environment. He was not only an environmentalist of but he was practically very much concerned with the environment. And he contributed a lot with Professor R.S. Singh ji in the development of geography at Banaras University. He was equally responsible. He equally shared the load. Actually, many people don't know Professor KAYASTHA was the right hand of Professor R.S. Singh. Actually, he was behind the scene. He used to work, and Professor R.S. Singh got all the credit. He was writing, he was doing, he was managing the department, he was making the syllabi, he was making the timetable of the department. He was Professor KAYASTHA used to organize conferences, youth conferences in the department under the umbrella of Professor R.S. Singh. So, as a academician, as a teacher, as a researcher, as a general man, he was a very nice person. Nobody is compared to Professor KAYASTHA at Banaras University. When he was working in Banaras University, he was the most beautiful, very smart, very dynamic, and well known to the students of other departments also at Banaras University. So I also got something. I'm nothing before Professor KAYASTHA, but I got something when I became Dean of Students of Banaras University. He wrote a letter which is with me still. I kept it with me, that you work hard as I have contributed to the help of the students. When I became registrar, acting vice chancellor of Banaras University, he always conveyed through letters through his son that you do like this, you do like this, you do like this. So he has always given me training. To work seriously, sincerely, and carefully. Professor KAYASTHA was a very honest person. I must tell you one incident when he was chairman of publication committee of Souvenir Publication Committee of Indian Science Congress in 1981. He was convener, and Professor P. Ramarao was co-convener, who became later scientific advisor to the Prime Minister. I was member of that particular committee, and B.N. Singh was member of the particular committee. They have published the souvenir. I got a lot of help and support from business community of the Banaras as well as surroundings of the Banaras, and got all the expenses of souvenir. Professor KAYASTHA was given a check of 50,000 rupees to spend on snacks and all those things, as generally, in the universities and colleges, some contingency grant is given. When the issue was ready, Professor KAYASTHA and Professor P. Ramarao called me, that you called your friends, Professor B.N. Singh and S.N. Singh, to have a cup of tea with Professor KAYASTHA and Professor P. Ramarao. And first, Professor P. Ramarao asked me, Kumra, you take this check and return back to the Vice Chairman of the Indian Science Congress Organizing Committee. I said, Sir, sir, you have not spent a single penny. He said, no need. There is no need. We have spent from our own pocket. Whatever expenditure was there, they spent from their own pocket. And they gave us envelope. I had a motorcycle and I have to run from one place to another. He gave envelope to me, to BN Singh and to SN Singh, that some money is there. I said, why should I take money when you have not taken a single penny? So they said, no, you worked hard. You used your petrol, you used your other friends' two-wheeler for running from one place to other. I said, no, sir. So they were so concerned about their students. And although I know many things about his contribution, his writings, he asked me to write a book on environmental studies because at that time there was no literature available at one place in different aspects of environment. So he asked me to write. I was so busy in university administration, even that particular time. University administration, examination, warden, for sports, so many extracurricular activities were involved with me. He asked me to write a book. I said, all right, because I can't say no to Professor KAYASTHA. So I started writing. And he used to provide a lot of 60s. He was so serious about keeping literature in different files. He gave me his old file that I have kept all these environmental problems since then. And the first case which was filed in court on environmental problems at Varanasi. So he given all the details so that I can write a book, and I contributed with Professor KAYASTHA. That was his blessing. That I was also added. I was also able to add my name with Professor KAYASTHA and in one of the book. Before that, when I started my research work in 1975, within 3 years, I have published papers with Professor KAYASTHA in almost all the journals of India. Almost all the journals of India and several volumes of, like Professor Anas volume, Professor Bagchi volume, Felicitation volume, so many volumes we have contributed. I have contributed with Professor KAYASTHA. But he was so regular and so concerned about writings in different, you can say, papers on different topics, that a real material, actual material should come out. Original work should come out. Because he did Himalayan Bias Basin, which was a very exhaustive work, and he visited each and every village of that particular basin. He traveled a lot. So he was very keen to see that all of his students should work very, very hard. Very, very hard and work carefully. So I really admired the activities of your organization to organize a session on as a founder and maker of geography. Really, he was a maker. He was a founder and maker of the geography at Banaras University in India, and also contributed abroad. He was well connected with many big geographers of the world. For example, Gilbert F. White, Leiden, Professor P.P. Karan, and even Professor Michael Chijam, under whom I worked at University of Cambridge due to blessings of Professor KAYASTHA, Professor R.J. Chorley. They were all well connected with Professor KAYASTHA. Even Gaudi, A.S. Gaudi, Professor S. Gaudi at University of Oxford, who wrote Human Impact on Environment. So, Professor KAYASTHA has very good relationship with Indian geographers as well as geographers abroad. And as a personal, for his personal connections, I know he was well connected to many, many big authorities because he was a student of Lahore Government College. And Lahore Government College was the prestigious college at that time of the country before partition. And many, many huge personalities, they got education from Lahore Government College. And they were well known to Professor KAYASTHA. One memory I will tell you that when I had been to UGC for Commonwealth Academy Staff Fellowship interview, about 14 persons were sitting on the chair to interview the candidates. Among 6 were well known to Professor KAYASTHA, and when they saw my work with Professor KAYASTHA, they asked me about his routine work, his health, and his working, and they also told me about his working with them at the Lahore Government College. And they were vice chancellors. 3-4 were vice chancellors. And they simply interviewed to me regarding Professor KAYASTHA and nothing else. And I got selected in that particular, selection, and joined University of Cambridge for senior fellowship. So Professor KAYASTHA's blessings are always with me, and whatever I got, whatever I am today, only because of Professor KAYASTHA's blessing in my life. He was very much concerned about my health because whenever he came across to know that I am sick or I am admitted in hospital, Professor KAYASTHA used to visit my house. He was very particular about visiting others' house, but he made visits to see me. How am I? मैं कैसा हूँ? मुझे देखने मेरे घर आ जाते थे KAYASTHA साहब. And later, if I have not met him for a week or 10 days, he used to write letter to me. His son Arvind delivered me that Kumra Sahab, he is asking you to meet. He desires to meet you. I know you are so particular about publication of National Geographic Journal of India volume. Whenever it is delayed, he used to write me letters that why it is delayed. You are the senior faculty member. Why it is coming delayed? So I asked Yadav ji to take responsibility of getting publication of NGSI. And Professor Yadav worked very hard to get the journal regular. And Professor KAYASTHA became very happy to see our working style. In last days, he read all the journals subscribed by him. And I think at the age of 90, he used to read all the journals. And whenever it is delayed, he used to write to me that why it is delayed, please send me. I have not received. We generally thought that why he is so serious about reading journals. But he said, all right, I'll see and read all the volumes of the National Geographical Society of India. So there's a lot of things about Professor KAYASTHA, his academic contribution, his contribution to the university, his contribution to the general welfare of the students. He used to provide help to the students financially. And that was rare commitment of a geographer to his student to become, I think Professor P.S. Tiwari has more experience about Professor KAYASTHA because he was very senior. He is very senior to me. He is very senior to me, and he has more, knowledge about Professor KAYASTHA's career and other things. So I thank you once again for inviting me. I'm sorry I became emotional, and every time I become emotional when somebody talks about Professor KAYASTHA. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, very much for sharing your experiences with Professor KAYASTHA ji regarding his relation to the students, his teaching attitude, teaching style, and his devotion to the development of the geography department and the development of geography as well. Thank you, sir, once again. Friends, various contributions of Professor KAYASTHA have been narrated by the speakers. Many scholars and geographers are sitting among us, joined with us. Your feelings are also very important for us. If anyone wants to express his opinion, he is welcome. Anyone?
Sir,
Yes, Dr. Ganesh Kumar Pathak, sir, please.
जी सर, सबसे पहले तो मैं आप सभी का सादर अभिवादन करता हूँ। प्रोफेसर कायस्था सर से मेरा जो संबंध हुआ और रिसर्च के दौरान बीएचयू में 2-3 वर्षों के दौरान हुआ, 2 बातें मैं कहना चाहूँगा सर के संदर्भ में। प्रोफेसर कायस्था सर में ऐसा एक व्यक्तित्व सम्मोहन का था कि सभी उनके तरफ खींचते चले जाते थे। वो व्यक्तित्व के संपूर्ण आयाम के धनी थे, पहली बात। दूसरी बात कि किसी भी सुपरविजन में, किसी गाइड सुपरविजन में शोध छात्र भले ही शोध कार्य कर रहा हो, अगर उनके पास अपनी समस्याओं को लेकर जाता था तो वो बड़े तन्मयता से उसका समाधान करते थे। समाधान ही नहीं करते थे बल्कि तो मैं अनुभव किया हूँ अपने साथ ही और शोध छात्राओं के संदर्भ में भी देखा हूँ, अपनी कलम तक उठा देते थे समय निकाल करके और उसी समय तत्काल टेबल पर ही करेक्शन कर देते थे। अगर समय नहीं रहता था फिर उस छात्र को समय देते थे। उनके अंदर ये बिल्कुल बात नहीं थी कि वो छात्र किसके गाइड में कार्य कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है, बस उनके पास जो भी शोध छात्र जाता था वो सबकी सहायता करते थे। ये हम लोगों के लिए आज भी जब आपस में हम लोग बैठते हैं, उस दौरान के 79 से 81 के दौरान के जो शोध छात्र जैसे एस राय थे, बीके राय थे, आलोक सिंह थे, तमाम लोग थे जिसमें हम भी थे, तो ये बहुत बड़ा एक जो गुण था उनमें, ये हम शोध छात्रों के लिए बहुत लाभदायक सिद्ध होता था, जो आज तक हम लोगों को याद है। हम लोग उनका आभारी रहते हैं और इसके लिए वो सदैव याद किए जाते रहेंगे। धन्यवाद।
प्रोफेसर वीके श्रीवास्तव जी हमारे साथ हैं। सर, may I request you to say something about Professor KAYASTHA?
Sharma ji?
Yes, sir.
You are listening to me?
Yes, I am listening, sir.
I also need 1 minute.
हेलो,
After
आप सुन रहे हैं मुझे?
After Srivastava ji, okay.
Yes.
हेलो,
Yes, sir.
आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी और मान्य उपस्थित मान्य गण, मुझे अत्यंत खेद है मैं कुछ देर से इस लिंक पर आ पाया। प्रोफेसर कायस्था मैंने सन 1963 में गोरखपुर विश्वविद्यालय ज्वाइन किया था और उस समय बीएचयू में बहुत ज़्यादा संख्या तो नहीं थी और कायस्था साहब से मेरा परिचय हुआ था प्रोफेसर डीके सिंह के माध्यम से। प्रोफेसर डीके सिंह जैसा कि आप जानते हैं भुवनेश्वर में प्रोफेसर थे और सागर विश्वविद्यालय में मेरे गुरु थे। तो प्रोफेसर कायस्था
साहब को मैं याद करना चाहूँगा कि मैं उस समय तराई रीजन के आदिवासियों पर कार्य कर रहा था। और जैसा कि आप और हम सब जानते हैं, प्रोफेसर कायस्था साहब ने बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण कार्य किया था गद्दी चरवाहों के ऊपर। उन्होंने बहुत सारे मुझे ऐसी बातें बताई थी कि कैसे इस विषय में इन्वेस्टिगेशन करना चाहिए। और दूसरी बात, प्रोफेसर कायस्था साहब गुरु के रूप में हमेशा सामने रहते थे। कोई ऐसा विषय हो, कोई ऐसा मुद्दा हो जिस पर अगर हम उनकी राय चाहें या जिस मुद्दे को हम उठा दें, तो उनके बोलने का अपना एक अलग ढंग था। और मैं तो आजीवन उनका ऋणी रहूंगा कि गद्दी चरवाहों के माध्यम से जो उन्होंने मुझे शोध की और क्षेत्रीय अध्ययन की विधियां बताई, वो मेरे लिए बहुत अधिक कारगर रहीं। फिर मैंने तराई रीजन में भी किया और मैं सोन बेसिन के आदिवासियों पर भी मैं काम कर चुका था। मैंने उस काम को जाके दोहराया प्रोफेसर कायस्था साहब के सजेशन के प्रकाश में, और मैंने पाया कि मेरे काम में बहुत अधिक सुधार हुआ है। मुझे अत्यंत प्रसन्नता है और मैं माफ़ी चाहता हूं कि मैं देर से इस कार्यक्रम से जुड़ पाया, लेकिन मैं आप सबके साथ कायस्था साहब के प्रति अपना श्रद्धा सुमन अर्पित करता हूं।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच। एंड नाउ प्रोफेसर राणा प्रताप जी।
Yeah. Friends, thank you very much. First of all, I must say I must respect Professor P.S. Tiwari and very good lecture delivered by Professor R.S. Yadav. Yes, Ramsakal ji. Friends, you have organized and listened about the learned person, Professor S.L. Kayastha, and I was closely associated with him when I was attending the Indian Science Congress. He was always guiding me how to do things, how to do research, and how to develop geography for the society and the nation. And since then, I found him as a great geographer. And that's why I pay my respect to that gentleman, the great geographer of the country. So I must appreciate Professor R.S. Yadav and Professor Kumra for giving so nice information related to Professor Kayastha. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And now I request to the guest of honor, Professor Mausami Datta.
Sir, Nag Sahib should be requested for his personal experiences.
Sir, please. Professor Nag, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Puran Chand wrote that we should speak in Hindi, so I will speak in Hindi now. Though I am comfortable with English, लेकिन मैं हिंदी में बोलना चाहूँगा। जब मुझे बहुत पुरानी बातें यादें आ रही हैं, तो जो कुमरा जी और यादव जी ने कहा उनको छोड़कर मैं कुछ कहना चाहूँगा। जब मैं बीएससी में पढ़ता था, तो मैं भी कई 100 स्टूडेंट होते थे, उसमें मैं भी था। फिर बीएससी जब पास किया और एमएससी में एडमिशन लेने को हुआ, तब मैथमेटिक्स में एमएससी में एडमिशन ले चुका था और रास्ते में कायस्था मिल गए। उन्होंने पूछा क्या कर रहे हो? एक बीएससी के स्टूडेंट के लिए एक प्रोफेसर याद रखे, ये बहुत बड़ी बात होती थी। मैंने कहा सर मैं मैथमेटिक्स में एडमिशन ले लिया हूँ। तो कहा नहीं मैथमेटिक्स में क्यों, तुम ज्योग्राफी में आओ। और उन्होंने इंसिस्ट किया और उसी कारण मैं ज्योग्राफी ज्वाइन किया, 1 हफ्ता पढ़ने के बाद मैथमेटिक्स एमएससी में। इसके बाद भी जब मैं एमएससी में पढ़ रहा था, तो कायस्था जो है, मेरे पिताजी मथुरा में रहते थे, तो कायस्था को मथुरा में एग्जामिनेशन लेने जाना था। मुझको बुलाया, मेरे पिताजी का मेरे घर का एड्रेस लिया और वहाँ वाइवा के बाद वो इंसिस्ट किया उन्होंने कि मेरे पिताजी से मिलना चाहते थे। तो मेरे पिताजी जो सब जानते थे तो मेरे घर भी ले गए। फिर कहना मतलब यह है कि एक स्टूडेंट, बीएससी का स्टूडेंट, एमएससी का स्टूडेंट, प्रोफेसर लोग ज़्यादा परवाह नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन उनका ये इतना ह्यूमन उनका नेचर था कि बीएससी के समय में मुझे रिकॉग्नाइज किया, एमएससी में भी किया, और पीएचडी वगैरह बाद में तो बहुत ज़्यादा करते ही रहे। मुझे उनके साथ कम से कम 10 बार विदेश जाने का मौका मिला, 1978 टू 1990, करीब 12 साल। केनिया, नाइजीरिया, स्पेन, ब्राज़ील, टोक्यो, जापान, इंग्लैंड, फ्रांस, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, और एक आध भूल भी जा रहा हूँ, जैसे काठमांडू वगैरह, ये सब उनके साथ जाने का मौका मिला। मैं पॉपुलेशन कमीशन, आईजी पॉपुलेशन कमीशन का मेंबर था, और वो रेगुलरली पॉपुलेशन कमीशन के एक्टिविटीज़ में पार्टिसिपेट करते रहते थे, इसलिए मुलाकात उनसे बहुत होती रहती थी। कई बार हम लोग साथ गए, साथ आए, और बहुत सी यादें हैं उस समय की कि हम लोग साथ साथ क्या क्या कैसे कैसे करते रहे, कहाँ का अटेंड किए। अभी कुमरा जी वगैरह बता रहे थे कि एक जो किताब हम लोगों ने निकाली थी, पॉपुलेशन डिजास्टर, उसमें हम दोनों, इंटरनेशनल वॉल्यूम था, हम दोनों उसमें को एडिटर थे, और बेसिल ब्लैकवेल ऑक्सफोर्ड से पब्लिश हुई थी। नेचर में उसका रिव्यू निकला था, बड़ा फेवरेबल रिव्यू निकला था। और उसी किताब के कारण जब इंटरव्यू में, डायरेक्टर नेटवर्क इंटरव्यू में जब वो किताब ने दिखाई, तो इंटरव्यू की उस किताब और रिव्यू देखकर ही सिलेक्शन कमेटी ने डिसाइड कर लिया था कि हम ही को रखना है। इसके अलावा भी मुझे 2 बार तो उनके फेलिसिटेशन वॉल्यूम निकालने का मौका मिला। 86 में निकाला कुमरा जी और लोगों के साथ, डॉक्टर हरिहर सिंह के साथ, पॉपुलेशन, ज्योग्राफी एंड पॉपुलेशन, वो बड़ा उस समय बहुत पॉपुलर किताब निकला। और उसके बाद भी हमने चंद्रशेखर कुमार के साथ और लोगों के साथ दूसरी फेलिसिटेशन वॉल्यूम निकाली। और रिसेंटली यादव जी जब उनके मेमोरी में किताब निकाले थे, उसमें भी मेरा आर्टिकल था। तो जितना मुझे पता था सब कुछ मैं उसमें लिख चुका हूँ इन सब पब्लिकेशंस में। टोक्यो के कॉन्फ्रेंस में, आईजीओ कॉन्फ्रेंस में, मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि प्रोफेसर कायस्था के ने 8 पेपर प्रेजेंट किए पूरे कांग्रेस में, प्री कांग्रेस और कांग्रेस मिलाकर, जो कि एक तरह का रिकॉर्ड है। और सब कुछ एनवायरनमेंट, पॉपुलेशन, इन सब के रिलेटेड उनके स्पीचेस हुआ करते थे। इनके अलावा मुझे याद पड़ता है कि मैं सर्वे जनरल हुआ, उनसे मिलने गया और कुछ बातचीत हो रही थी, तो किसी टॉपिक का जिक्र आया, जैसे कुमरा जी कह रहे थे कि उन्होंने तुरंत अंदर गए और 1936 का कोई पेपर पब्लिश हुआ था उस टॉपिक के ऊपर, वो लेके निकल के आए, कह रहे देखो ये पेपर है, उस समय ये निकला था। जबकि उनकी उम्र बहुत ज़्यादा हो चुकी थी, सुनाई भी कम ठीक से नहीं देता था। उस समय भी उनकी मेमोरी इतनी शार्प थी एकेडमिकली कि वो मुझे वो पब्लिकेशन निकाल के उन्होंने दिखाया। और इसके अलावा भी बहुत उनके साथ करस्पॉन्डेंस मेरा होता रहा। अभी भी कुछ नहीं होंगे तो 25 चिट्ठियाँ उनकी मेरे पास होंगी। जब जो भी चिट्ठी लिखते थे तो जवाब जरूर मिलता था। हैंडराइटिंग बड़ी ठीक थी। मुझे तो लोगों ने बताया कि रिटायरमेंट के पहले तक जो पहले 4 लाइन की कॉपी आती, 4 लाइन वाली कॉपी आती थी हैंडराइटिंग के लिए, उसमें हैंडराइटिंग की प्रैक्टिस भी करते थे वो, क्योंकि हैंडराइटिंग खराब ना हो, इंग्लिश की हैंडराइटिंग। तो इस तरह के वो थे, हम लोग के लिए एक रोल मॉडल थे। एक स्टूडेंट के लिए टीचर है वो रोल मॉडल ही होता है, लेकिन रोल मॉडल से भी ज़्यादा थे। और हम लोगों के सामने जो भी आपके उनके जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं, मैं उनके जो डायरेक्ट मतलब पीएचडी स्टूडेंट होने का मौका नहीं मिला, लेकिन देखा था तो हर समय गाइडेंस जरूर मिलता रहता था। तो ये बहुत खास बात उनकी थी। केवल एक दुख मेरा रह गया कि जब उनकी डेथ हुई, मैं उस समय बनारस में था और मुझे जो है ये इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं मिल पाई कि उनकी डेथ हो गई, और मैं घाट में नहीं जा पाया। ये दुख जो है मुझे हर समय रहेगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आप लोगों ने कुछ कहने का मुझे मौका दिया।
धन्यवाद सर, आप लोगों की ये यादें।
वीके शर्मा साहब, मैं आउट ऑफ टर्न बोलना चाहता हूँ, प्लीज।
जी 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 सर।
जब प्रोफेसर यादव और प्रोफेसर कुमरा ने अपना प्रेजेंटेशन दिया और बाद में अभी वीके साहब ने बात कही, डॉक्टर पाठक ने बात कही, प्रोफेसर नाग ने बात कही, तो मुझे लगता है कि वो जनरेशन ही अलग थी।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर,
वो जनरेशन ही अलग थी। जहां आप जो लोग कह रहे हैं, मुझे बराबर याद आ रहा था कि कैसे वो गुरु थे और कैसे आप सबने शागिर्द की तरह सीखा। आज ना वो गुरु है ना कोई शागिर्द बनने को तैयार नहीं। अगर आप किसी से कह दीजिए कि इसको ठीक कर लीजिए तो उसको लगता है कि आप कमी ढूंढ रहे हैं। मुझे याद है कि PS तिवारी सर सागर आए हुए थे और वो हमारे घर आए और घर में किसी अलग विषय के ऊपर बात होने लगी। मेरी धर्मपत्नी वोकल में थी। वो ये आया कि जो सीखने आते हैं वो उनसे पैसे नहीं लेती हैं। तो PS तिवारी ने कहा कि नहीं, ये आप गलत करती हैं, आप पैसे लीजिए, भले किसी को दान कर दीजिए। जब आप पैसे नहीं लेती हैं तो आदमी को उसका मूल्य नहीं होता है। प्रोफेसर तिवारी मेरे यहाँ चाय पीने आए थे, भूगोल वेता है, लेकिन उस पारिवारिक स्वरूप में उन्होंने अपनी सलाह दी। मैं रिकॉल करूं, एक जगह से एक पेपर आया था ज्योग्राफी ऑफ सॉइल का। मैंने प्रोफेसर मिश्रा से कहा कि सर ये मैं वापस कर रहा हूं, मैंने ये पढ़ाया नहीं। तो उन्होंने कहा कुर्सी पे बैठ जाओ, ये अगर यूनिवर्सिटी का टीचर वापस कर देगा तो इसको कौन सेट करेगा। और उन्होंने 15 मिनट मेरे साथ बैठे रहे और उन्होंने बताया मुझे कि इसको ऐसे करो बनाओ। और मुझे जो प्रोफेसर कुमरा बात बता रहे थे, आई वाज जस्ट रिकॉलिंग एज आई एम लिसनिंग अबाउट माय ओन टीचर। छोटी छोटी सी बातें आपके करेक्ट करते थे। एक बार उन्होंने कहा कि आपने मेरे कमरे में आके कहा कि आपको जाना है 2 दिन के लिए। वो कभी नहीं बोलते थे, वो कहते थे यू हैव इन्फॉर्म मी, आई हैव नोटेड। आपने पूछा होता कि सर मुझे 2 दिन जाना, मैं जा सकता हूं, तो आई वाज हैविंग ए स्पोक। और कुबरा साहब जो समय की बात कह रहे थे, रियली प्रोफेसर अली आपके उन्होंने फर्स्ट ईयर में सेकेंड ईयर में हमको पढ़ाया, आज तक मुझे वो याद है। तो प्रोफेसर सिंह हम तमाम तरह के व्याख्यान कर रहे हैं, लेक्चर छप जाएंगे, लेकिन मुझे लगता है, मैं अपनी अंतरात्मा से कहूं, आज प्रोफेसर कुमरा ने जो बातें कही, प्रोफेसर यादव ने जो बात कही, प्रोफेसर नाग ने जो बातें कही, प्रोफेसर गणेश जी ने बात कही, प्रोफेसर वीके साहब ने कही, ये छपने के बाद क्या ये अनुभूति हमको हो पाएगी? हमको नहीं हो पाएगी, बिल्कुल ये अनुभूति नहीं हो पाएगी। तो मैं ये कहता हूं कि इन व्याख्यानों का छपना एक तरह से महत्वपूर्ण है, लेकिन ये जो प्रस्तुति ऑनलाइन है प्रोफेसर डीपी साहब आपने कराई है, इससे जो लोगों को उस संबंधों की, आज विक्रांत आपके कुमरा साहब कितने बार इमोशनल हुए। I was all the time I was trying to connect कि किस तरह के टीचर थे और किस तरह से उन्होंने सीखा। मैं सॉरी, मैं आउट ऑफ टर्न बोल रहा हूँ, लेकिन मुझे लगा कि मैं जो एक बना हुआ है, मैं 4 पंक्तियां आपकी अनुमति से कहना चाहूँ। कुमरा साहब आपको जो समर्पित है और कायस्था साहब को। वक्त की हो धूप या तेज आंधियां, वक्त की हो धूप या तेज आंधियां, कुछ कदमों के निशान कभी नहीं मिटते, जिन्हें याद करके छलक आए आंसू, वह लोग दूर होकर भी नहीं दूर होते। कौन कहता है कायस्था साहब नहीं है? आज जितने लोगों ने जितनी देर कुमरा साहब ने करीब 50 मिनट 55 मिनट की है, कहीं लग रहा था कि कुमरा साहब यहाँ हमारे बीच में नहीं है? नहीं लग रहा था। मुझे लगता है कि ऐसे लोग जो शरीर हों और वो किसी मतलब के ना हो, तो ऐसे ना होने वाले लोगों को मैं प्रणाम करता हूं। और सारे लोगों ने जो उनके प्रति अपनी भावनाएं व्यक्त करती, उनके प्रति भी मैं अपनी कृतज्ञता ज्ञापित करता हूं। और एक बात और मैं कहूं, इस व्याख्यान माला की शुरुआत 27 जून 21 को हुई थी। KR दीक्षित साहब चेयरमैन थे और PS तिवारी साहब स्पीकर थे। ही वॉज वन ऑफ द स्पीकर्स, ओपनिंग बैट्समैन थे। और मेरे जैसे आदमी के लिए ये सौभाग्य की बात है, आज 31वें एपिसोड में ही इज चेयरिंग द सेशन। ये उनके कमिटेड डिसिप्लिन के कमिटमेंट का एक प्रमाण है कि इस उम्र के बावजूद भी लगातार 2 घंटे से हम लोग साथ बैठे हुए हैं और सुन रहे हैं। और मैं देख रहा हूं कि वो लगातार हर आदमी के अभिव्यक्ति पर मुस्कुरा के अपना रिस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हैं, जो उनका स्वभाव होता है। मैं सारे लोगों को जिन्होंने प्रोफेसर कायस्था के प्रति कही, मुझे सीधा कभी बोलने का मिला, लेकिन आज मुझे महसूस हुआ प्रोफेसर कुमरा की बातचीत सुनने के बाद, खास तौर से फिर प्रोफेसर नाग ने जिस तरह से बात कही कि लगभग वही टीचर थे जो आज दुर्लभ हो गए हैं। हम कोशिश करें कि थोड़ा थोड़ा हम उसके से बन जाएंगे तो शायद उस परंपरा को हम आगे ले जा पाएंगे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आभार, थैंक यू,
धन्यवाद सर
फॉर गिविंग मी टाइम। थैंक यू
सर। एक मिनट सर, 1 मिनट मैं थोड़ा इस पर कुछ बोलूंगा। 1 मिनट सर। परम सम्मानित शुक्ला साहब जी, आपकी भावनाओं का कद्र करते हुए मैं यह भी सूचित करना चाहता हूं कि जो भी अभी कार्यक्रम चल रहा है ये सब YouTube पर लाइव चल रहा है और ये परमानेंट रहेगा। अब कुमरा साहब जब भी भावुक हो रहे थे तो मेरी पोती यहाँ बैठी है, मैं भी भावुक हो रहा था क्योंकि प्रसंग ही ऐसी थी। और आप को मैं यह भी आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं कि ये सारे जो लेक्चर हैं ये सब रिकॉर्ड हो रहे हैं और बाद में इस रिकॉर्ड्स को भी हम लोग जारी करेंगे, पब्लिश करेंगे। धन्यवाद सर। ये
मैं सारे लोगों को एक शेयर करना चाहता हूं। 31वें एपिसोड में एक ग्रुप बने थे, 9 ग्रुप बने थे जिनमें अलग अलग काम दिया जाना था। उसमें से मेरे ग्रुप को दिया गया था डायरेक्टरी के लिए फॉर्मेट बनाने का काम। मैं प्रोफेसर तिवारी को प्रणाम करते हुए और सारे लोगों को शेयर करना चाहता हूं कि हमारे ग्रुप ने वो काम पूरा कर लिया है। वी हैव फाइनलाइज्ड द प्रोफार्मा, उसका गूगल फॉर्म बना लिया है और हमने आपस में शेयर करके उसको फिलअप करके देख लिया कि कोई कंस्ट्रेंट तो नहीं है, उनके करेक्शंस कर रहे हैं और शॉर्टली वी विल बी सबमिटिंग इट, फॉरवर्डिंग इट टू प्रोफेसर डीपी सिंह फॉर द नीडफुल। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ओके सर, थैंक यू। तो सर वीके श्रीवास्तव जी ने फिर हैंड रेज किया है, प्लीज सर।
सर माइक म्यूट कर लीजिए,
अनम्यूट करिए सर। सर अनम्यूट करिए अगर बोल रहे हैं।
हेलो।
हाँ
शर्मा जी।
जी सर।
क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं, मैं समझा नहीं। आप क्या कहना? नहीं,
आपने हैंड रेज किया हुआ था सर।
ओहो गलती से हुआ। मैं तो थोड़ी सी 2-4 बातें अपने कह चुका हूँ। बहुत सारी बातें हैं जिनको शायद अगर कहने लगे, और मैं अनफॉर्चुनेट था, कुमरा साहब का ने जैसा प्रेजेंटेशन दिया मैं उस समय ज्वाइन नहीं कर सका था और बस मैं अपने आप को भाग्यवान समझता हूँ। कायस्था साहब का बहुत सम्मान हमने किया। अपने विद्यार्थी गोरखपुर में अपना शैक्षिक जीवन प्रारंभ करते ही उनसे संबंध हमारा हो गया था। कायस्था साहब, प्रसाद साहब, इन लोगों से मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा और मैं अपने आप को बड़ा भाग्यवान समझता हूँ। आज महसूस करता हूँ कि आज उनके ऊपर जो भी कार्यक्रम डीपी सिंह साहब ने रखा है, मैं उसमें थोड़ी ही देर से ही भाग ले सका और अपनी कुछ श्रद्धांजलि उनके प्रति प्रकट कर चुका। और नाग साहब ने जो बातें कही वो तो बड़ी भावुक और बड़ी उत्साहवर्धक थी और मुझे बड़ी खुशी है कि मैं नाग साहब के, क्योंकि नाग साहब ही मेरे समझ में जहाँ तक था उस समय कायस्था साहब के बहुत नज़दीक और थे और उनसे बहुत सारी बातें हम लोगों को सीखने मिली। मैं आप सबको बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ। अध्यक्ष जी को धन्यवाद, डीपी सिंह साहब को धन्यवाद और माफ करेंगे कि आज मुझे आपको ज्वाइन करने में कुछ विलम्ब हो गया।
धन्यवाद सर, धन्यवाद सर। समय के साथ तो सब कुछ बदलता है और उसके साथ ही टीचर और जो स्टूडेंट है उसके रिलेशंस भी बदले हैं और बदलते ही हैं, रहते हैं। लेकिन जो यादें आप लोगों ने शेयर की हैं निश्चित रूप से वो नई पीढ़ी के लिए प्रेरक का कार्य करेंगी। हम आगे बढ़ते हैं फिर और मैं आई नाउ रिक्वेस्ट द गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर प्रोफेसर मौसमी दत्ता फॉर द रिमार्क्स। प्रोफेसर दत्ता।
Yeah. My namaskar and pranam to every one of you. My Hindi is bad, so I prefer to speak in Hindi, sir. In English, sir. Actually, I'm highly obliged to be invited in this 31st online lecture series on founders and makers of modern geography in India, organized by Institute for Environmental Research and Rural Development, Patna. Now, I never had the fortune to meet Professor Shantilal Kayastha sir, but it was highly motivating to learn the academic biography of him. He was he was such a personality when I was listening to the presentation, that who had rendered such a long and exploratory as well as selfish service throughout his illustrious career. My regards to him. I feel myself to be very fortunate to share the platform with eminent geographers, Professor P.S. Tiwari, Professor Santosh Shukla, Professor V.N. Sharma, Professor R.S. Yadav, and even Professor Prithvish Nag sir. I have grown up in Calcutta University. I had studied there and I've heard of him. I've read his books, but it's the first time, actually, although online, I'm meeting him. So I'm highly obliged today. It is always said that a good event never comes to an end. So when I was listening and I was being a part of this online series, I was thinking that I will always wait for the next lecture series to come over and be a part of it. Namaskar and thank you.
Thank you, Professor Datta. Without delay, may I request the chief guest, Professor Santosh Shukla ji, to express, sir, your feelings and remarks. Professor Shukla ji. Yes, sir. You are muted, sir. Unmute your mic, sir.
With your permission, I have already spoken. मैं केवल एक बात ये कहना चाहूँगा
जी
कि ये 31वां एपिसोड है और इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के द्वारा, इस सिस्टम के द्वारा हम अभी तक अपने सम्मानीय शिक्षकों के द्वारा 76 लोगों के बारे में जान चुके हैं
जी
Today, Professor KAYASTHA is the 76th stalwart about whom we came to know about two things. It was very systematically planned by the two speakers. एक प्रोफेसर यादव ने systematically हमको सारी सामग्री के बारे में किया और दूसरा प्रोफेसर कुमरा ने उनके व्यक्तित्व के इमोशनल, एकेडमिक्स जितने एस्पेक्ट आयाम हो सकते हैं उनके बारे में की और उस बात करते करते उन्होंने प्रोफेसर तिवारी को कई बार रेफर किया जो एक रिलेशनशिप के बारे में भी आपके कम्युनिकेट करता है. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट इट. मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूं कि इसमें प्रोफेसर सिंह ने मुझे एक हिस्सा बनाया. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you, sir. Finally, now I request Professor P.S. Tiwari ji, the president of this episode, to deliver the presidential address. Sir.
Thank you very much, Sharma ji. I feel very much elated to associate myself with this galaxy of distinguished Indian geographers. I'm all the more happy to be part of this meeting because the meeting is called to recall the contributions of Professor KAYASTHA, who was my teacher, and I learned a lot from him. Friends, first time I saw him was during my undergraduate classes in 1952. That is 4 years after he had joined the department. And the last visit was, I think, sometimes in 2016 or so. I mean, just before his death, a year or so before that. And throughout this period, I was in constant touch with him. I had the good fortune of being his student for my undergraduate and postgraduate studies, 1952 to 1956. And then after a decade, I again joined Banaras University for PhD, and I had the good fortune again to be his student. And for 3 years, I was constantly in contact with him. Professor Yadav and Professor Kumra, they have thrown enough of light on his contributions. Professor Yadav has very meticulously explained the various aspects of his academic achievements. Professor Kumra has thrown light on his personal qualities. And then, Professor Nag has mentioned his own interactions. Friends, he was a wonderful person. We meet lots of people in our life, but there are some people who have who make a mark, who impress you more than others. And I have benefited a lot from my interactions with Professor KAYASTHA. First time when we met him, he was perhaps, he was blessed with a very charming personality. And those days he was not married, I think. He got married 1953 or I think, yes, 1953 or yes. So he had a very charming personality. And then he was a very good teacher. We had two very good teachers those days at the Banaras University. Professor Chibbar was the head of the department. And number two was one P.K. Datta, Fanindra Kumar Datta. And then number three was Professor R.L. Singh and then Professor KAYASTHA. So Professor P.K. Datta was a very good teacher. And so was Professor KAYASTHA. Professor KAYASTHA used to prepare his lessons very meticulously and would go very systematically one by one. One could write the entire lecture verbatim, and there is no need, to go to a textbook, after his lecture on that particular topic. It will be very comprehensive. And when he talks about the, socio-economic aspects, it will be most up-to-date information. Whatever has come in the newspapers a few days earlier, that also will be included in his lectures. And then Professor Kumra talked about his human qualities. He was a rare, species, I would say. He would take interest in his students all the time. Not only academic, his personal life also he will be interested. And he would be there to help, on any aspect. And he was honest. He was honest to the core. He was assigned a project on writing a paper, comprehensive paper on second Uttar Pradesh. How UP's population has increased after independence, and how the socio-economic development of the state has gone up. He gave that project to me. I thought he wants my help. I wrote the paper, I think in about 2 months or so, and send it to him. And after a few days, I received a check. It was very surprising to me. I asked him, when I got the check, I asked him why this check for me. He said, no, you have worked on it and you have written the paper. So I cannot accept it. It is for you only. And then when the paper was published in the book, his name was not there. It was only my name, which is something very rare. So, friends, one thing Professor Kumara mentioned was that the appreciation and the credit for promoting geography in India given to Professor Kayasthha is not adequate. His impact was much more than what ordinarily we know. Through his students were there all over the country. And also because he was a very simple person, an unassuming person, and very straightforward, and very polite. He will talk very decently. So the impact, his academic impact on the growth of geography in the country is much more than what ordinarily is credited to him. It was through his the gamut of his writings, the extent, the variety of the subjects he worked on and he made his students work on, and not only through his own handwriting, own writings and the writings of his students, his contribution on Indian geography is substantial because of the editing of the National Geographical Journal of India. He was editor for, I think, about 25-30 years. The journal was all the time on time, and he did it almost single-handed. And I know how difficult it is to edit a journal. But he would do it with all his busy schedule as a teacher, as a researcher, as a guide for his students. He would find time to bring out the issue on time, never late. And that had a great impact on development of our discipline in the country. So friends, I must, before I close, I must also mention my appreciation of the organizers of this meeting, Professor D.P. Singh and his team, who take so much of pains to organize, to contact people, to contact the speakers, be after them, remind them about the program, and make so much of efforts. So I would like to thank Professor D.P. Singh for all his efforts. Friends, thank you very much. If we remember Professor Kayastha, and if we can emulate, some of the qualities that he had, that many of us have seen by our interaction, and many more are listening to it today. And if we try to bring, some of those qualities in our, life, that will be the real homage to this great human being. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your memories related to the Professor Kayastha ji. Now we are at the end of this program. And in the end, I would like to request my colleague, Professor Shravani Sanyal, Department of Geography, Banaras Hindu University, to thank all the scholars present online. Professor Sanyal, please. Professor Sanyal, please.
She is speaking but not audible.
Professor Sanyal, unmute your mic.
Yes, you are audible. You are audible.
Sir, madam is audible.
Yeah, I can also hear.
He's audible.
Audible. But for some time you are not visible.
But she is not audible. Professor Sanyal.
Audible. She is audible.
She is not audible.
नहीं सर बहुत नहीं सुनाई दे रहा है.
She is not audible. It is not going in record.
I think she is not audible.
Yes, sir. Not audible.
आवाज गर्ली आ रही है, उनको बोलने दिया जाए प्लीज.
हाँ ठीक है, बोलना.
अच्छा, कुछ लोगों को सुनाई दे रहा है, ठीक है.
क्या आवाज आ रही है?
नहीं आ रही सर, कुछ लोगों को तो नहीं सुनाई दे रही है।
Yes, madam.
You are audible. Okay. Professor V.N. Sharma, please take over.
Yes, okay. So thank you, Professor Sauri Sanyal ji. Now the time for national anthem. I request you all to please stand up. And may I request to Dr. Kaveri Devadkar for national anthem.
Okay. Thank you very much.
But
Thank you, sir.
all other than Dr. Dhaverkar should mute their mic.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। भारत माता की जय।